जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यमुनातीरावनचारी। यमुनातीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यमुनातीरावनचारी। यमुनातीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा। कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा। जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय। गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री श्री कृष्णा रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, entitled Glories of Devotional Service. Text number 29. 28, huh? 28, yeah. Devahutirvacha Kachit Tvayi Uchita Bhaktihi Kachit Tvayuchita Bhaktihi Kachit Tvayuchita Bhaktihi Kidrishi Mama Gochara Kidrishi Mama Gochara Kidrishi Mama Gochara Yaya Padam Te Nirvanam Yaya Padam Te Nirvanam Yaya Padam Te Nirvanam Anjasa Anvasnavai Aham Anjasan Vasnava Aham Anjasan Vasnava Aham Devahutirvacha Kachit Tvayuchita Bhaktihi Kidrishi Mama Gochara Yaya Padam Te Nirvanam Anjasan Vasnava Aham Devahutirvacha Kachit Tvayuchita Bhaktihi Kidrishi Mama Gochara Yaya Padam Te Nirvanam Anjasan Vasnava Aham Devahutihi Uvacha. Devahuti said, Kachit, what? Tvayi, unto you. Uchita, proper. Bhakti, devotional service. Kidrishi, what kind, mama, by me, gochara, fit to be practiced, yaya, by which, padam, feet, te, your, nirvanam, liberation, anjasa, immediately, anvasnavai, shall attain, aham, I. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. On hearing this statement of the Lord, Devahuti inquired, what kind of devotional service is worth developing and practicing to help me easily and immediately attain the service of your lotus feet? Kindly repeat. On hearing this statement of the Lord, Devahuti inquired, what kind of devotional service is worth developing and practicing to help me easily and immediately attain the service of your lotus feet? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that no one is barred from rendering service to the Lord, whether one is a woman or a laborer or a merchant, if he engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord, he is promoted to the highest perfectional state and goes back home, back to Godhead. The devotional service most suitable for different types of devotees is determined and fixed by the mercy of the spiritual master. Dasa in Bhaktivedanta purport. Om ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam. Some years back, about, when was this? This was somewhere around 2003-4 or something like that. It's about almost 20 years back. Probably. Not exactly sure how long ago, around that time. In one of our temples, there was one devotee, a brahmachari, full-time devotee. He had been in the temple for maybe 3 years, 4 years, approximately, around that time. One day he came up with some idea and he approached the temple commander, whoever was there at that time. He told him that I've got ideas, plans to do something big for Prabhupada and Krishna. And he had a lot of ideas, plans. Temple commander also heard him. And he said, all that is fine, now you do your assigned service. And this devotee kept coming back and telling repeatedly, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do something big for Prabhupada and Krishna. eventually what happened, that devotee became frustrated. And he said, I want to do something big for Prabhupada and Krishna. You people are not allowing. Management is not allowing. So many rules, so many restrictions. If I have to do this, I have to take permission. If I have to do that, I have to go and approach a temple commander, vice president, president. So much restriction. I'm getting suffocated. I'm not being allowed to do. If you give me a free hand, I will do big, big things for Prabhupada and Krishna. Finally, one day he left the temple. He said, I want to do big things for Prabhupada. If I am in this temple, if I am in this institution, I cannot do anything. And we tried counseling him, trying to make him understand and all that, but he was very adamant. Finally, we had to acquiesce and we let him go. Now, recently, I was speaking to another older devotee, and I was remembering this incident. And I told him, do you remember there was this devotee who wanted to do big things for Prabhupada and he left the temple? And the devotee said, yes, I also remember. Because this is a unique case. Not very often you come across these things. I said, after that, I've never heard of him. Have you ever come across or heard about him? He said, yeah, he's running one Goshala somewhere. After he left the temple, he made a trust with some congregation devotees and he made a Goshala and he's running it. I said, so has he done something big Goshala, thousands of cows? No, one small Goshala, 15-20 cows he's managing, somehow he's running. What happened to all his plans? Wanted to do big things. All vaporized. Sometimes this happens to devotees. They start feeling suffocated. That there are too many rules and regulations. It happens not only with temple devotees. It may be congregation, folk devotees also it happens. What is this? We come here, we want prasadam, we have to take coupon ahead of time. What is this coupon business? You go to some other temple, freely whenever you want, you can go and take prasadam. Too many rules and regulations. Suffocating. Sometimes devotees feel like that. And sometimes devotees, they feel so suffocated. I am not being able to express myself. I am not able to do what I want. And they leave the movement. Sometimes this happens. Now, if you see here, today's verse, Devahuti has heard from Kapiladev. What has she heard? Last few verses, Kapiladev has been telling that you have to render devotional service. You have to serve the pure devotees. And by rendering devotional service, you can go back to God or you can perfect your life. All those things. We have been discussing these verses of Kapiladeva instructing his mother. Now, the moment his mother heard and understood, Devahuti heard and understood, yes, devotional service is the path to be followed to go back to Godhead. What did she do? Oh, yes, Kapila, I understood. Now I will do something big for Krishna and I will do big devotional service. Was that her response? No, her response was, immediately she said, Kachit tvai uchita bhaktihi. What should I do now? Kidrishi mama gochara. What kind of devotional service is worth developing and practicing? Please tell me what I should do. This is the question she has raised. In our case, what happens is we hear a little bit from Prabhupada. We understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhakti Yoga is the topmost devotion, is the topmost yoga process. In the end of the 6th chapter, Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan yome bhajate same yukta tamo mataha. That yogi who renders devotional service to Krishna is the topmost yogi. We hear all this, understand this. Then what happens in our heart? Yes, I want to do this, I want to do that. Lot of things, we start developing lot of plans and ideas. That's what normally happens with us. If we look at the example of Devahuti, she is not having any plan. She is asking, you tell me what your plan is for me. Now you take the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, he defeated Kesava Kashmiri when he was still a student. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was still a student, not even married, young bachelor, maybe 14, 15 years old. He met Kesava Kashmiri, who was a Digvijayi, who had gone all over India and defeated everyone, everywhere. And in Sanskrit scholarship, and he had come to finally Navadvipa, where also there were a lot of scholars, so he wanted to come there and he wanted to gain victory over Navadvipa scholars also. Then his name would be glorified everywhere. And he was a highly learned scholar. He had the personal blessings of Saraswati Devi. And this Kesava Kashmiri was very easily defeated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At that time, he was known as Nimai. Until his youth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was known as Nimai. And when he reached his youth and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he married Lakshmi Priya, Vishnu Priya and all that, that time he came to be known as Gaurahari. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he took the name of Krishna Chaitanya. Now, as Nimai, he defeated Keshav Kashmiri. You can imagine that. He was, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's scholarship, erudition was unmatched because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Nobody can match his level of knowledge and erudition. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to Varanasi, he had a meeting with one of the foremost sannyasis in Varanasi at that time, who was a follower of the Shankara Sampradaya. He was the leader of all the sannyasis who were following Shankaracharya, Prakashananda Saraswati. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met Prakashananda Saraswati and his group of all the sannyasis, Prakashananda Saraswati asked the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "You are a sannyasi and you have taken sannyas in our sampradaya from Keshava Bharati. You should be engaged in studying the Vedanta Sutra. But instead of studying Vedanta and Upanishads, you are going around and mixing with common people and singing and dancing with them. What is all this emotional bhavuka? You have become bhavuka. You have become very emotional. This is not good for your sannyasa. Why are you doing this?" Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responded, "Guru more murkha dehi korila shasana." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "My Guru," Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Guru is Ishwarapuri. "My Guru," he said, "murkha to me." He saw that I was a fool, number one. Korila shasana, he chastised me, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra. Why? To attain samsara mochana, to attain liberation from the cycle of birth and death. And Ishwarapuri told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "You don't study Vedanta and all that. You have no brains to study all that. You have no adhikara, you have no right. Simply chant the Hare Krishna mantra. If you chant this Hare Krishna mantra, samsara mochana will automatically happen." Not only that, by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, Pave Krishnera Charana, you will be able to see the lotus feet of Krishna directly. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Therefore, I don't study the Vedanta Sutra, I simply chant the Hare Krishna mantra." You can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, he has incarnated to spread the Sankirtana movement. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yajnaihi Sankirtanaihi Prayair Yajantihi Sumedasaha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented to inaugurate the Sankirtana movement and spread it all over the world. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Swayam Krishna, who is Krishna himself, he is saying, "My spiritual master told me you don't read Vedanta Sutra and all, simply chant Hare Krishna, and I am following his instruction." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking initiation from Ishwarapuri and taking sannyas from Keshav Bharati, he did not think that I have to do big things. I am Krishna himself, I'll achieve big things. No, he is thinking, whatever my spiritual master ordered me, I have to simply execute that. Swayam Bhagavan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Of course, there is no need for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to think like this. He is Swachanda. He is completely, absolutely independent personality. He does not depend upon anybody's instructions. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was playing the role of a devotee, and he was setting an example how a devotee has to execute Ananya Bhakti, pure unalloyed devotional service, which is what will take us to Goloka Vrindavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to set that standard. And so by his behavior, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was showing how we have to be dependent upon the spiritual master's instruction. Like Prabhupada is mentioning in today's purport, the devotional service most suitable for different types of devotees is determined and fixed. By whom? Not by our own desire. I like to do this, so I will do this. I will do big things for Prabhupada like this. We cannot make our own plans. We cannot fix for ourselves what I should do. What is Prabhupada saying? The devotional service most suitable for different types of devotees is determined and fixed by the mercy of the spiritual master. Who is saying this? Prabhupada is saying this. Now look at Prabhupada himself. What did Prabhupada do? 1922, when Prabhupada first met his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. What did Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur tell Srila Prabhupada? You should spread the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in English language to the Western audience. That was the instruction. Then in 1936, Prabhupada wrote a letter to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur asking him, what is your instruction for me? What is your order for me? By then, 1922 to 36. 1922, first time Prabhupada met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. 11 years later, by 1933, Prabhupada had become initiated. And then 1936. So, 14 years has already passed since the time Prabhupada accepted Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. 14 years have passed. After 14 years, Prabhupada is asking his Guru, what is your order for me? Prabhupada was not thinking, I will do big things. I know what to do. Prabhupada is asked, what do you want me to do? And what did Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur reply? He replied in that famous letter. What did he reply? Preach to the Western audience in the English language. Same thing he repeated. And then Prabhupada, after that, 1944, Prabhupada started the Back to Godhead magazine. Why? Because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said he has to preach in English. And then eventually in 1965, Prabhupada went to the US. When he was going to the US, what was Prabhupada's thinking? Was Prabhupada thinking, now I'm going to the US, I'll do big things, I'll preach, I'll convert the whole Western world, I'll do a big service for my spiritual master, I know what to do. Was that Prabhupada's thinking? Prabhupada, in fact, in that poem he wrote on the Jaladuta, he said, Atacha yenecho Prabhu kotha balibare, je tomar ichha Prabhu koro ei bare. Prabhupada is saying, somehow or other, O Lord, Prabhupada is praying to Krishna, somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. You have brought me here, Krishna, you have brought me here to USA to speak about you. So please empower me so that I can speak in a very fantastic way, attract everyone and convert everyone to Krishna consciousness. Is that what Prabhupada wanted? Prabhupada said, now my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or a failure as you like. You see, what is Prabhupada's mood? And then further, Prabhupada said in that same poem, Aniyacho jadi Prabhu amare nachate, nachao Prabhu, nachao se mate, kashtera puttali, jatha nachao se mate. Prabhupada is saying, oh Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, oh Lord, make me dance as you like. You see Prabhupada's mood? Prabhupada was not going to the United States thinking, I will do big things, I will do this, I will do that. He is thinking, it is the order of my spiritual master. Somehow I am going. Whether I am a success or a failure, as per Krishna's desire, let it happen. But I want to execute the order of my spiritual master. Actually, this mode is very, very important. This mode that, not that I want to do this, but questioning, what do you want me to do? This attitude is very, very important if you want to go to Goloka Vrindavan. Of course, if somebody says, I want to do this for Krishna, it is not against devotional service. The devotee wants to do devotional service only. But then if your goal is to go back to Goloka Vrindavan, become one of the Brajavasis, then you have to go beyond that. You have to go beyond the question. You have to go beyond the thinking that I want to do this for Krishna. You have to go to the stage of, Krishna, what do you want from me? Prabhupada, you are my spiritual master. What do you want me to do? You take the example of Arjuna. Arjuna, in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, in the first chapter, what did he do? He said, Na yotsye. Oh Krishna, I don't want to fight. And he gave up his bow and arrow and sat down. But he did not stop there. He went further. And he said, Yat shreyoham nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Krishna, I am surrendered to you. Tvam prapannam, I am surrendering unto you. Shishyaste aham. Aham te shishyaha. I am your disciple now. You are my spiritual master. Yet shreyah syan nishchitam bruhitan me. Nishchitam, with clear, direct instruction. Please tell me what I should do. You see, Arjuna also did not fight the battle of Kurukshetra saying that I will do big, big things for Krishna. I know what to do. No, he said, Krishna, what do you want me? Please tell me clearly and certainly what I have to do for you, I will do. And so Krishna told Arjuna, he gave many, many instructions. And in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna showed his Vishwarupa to Arjuna. And what did Krishna tell him? He said, when Krishna showed his Vishwarupa, Arjuna could see all the Kauravas headed by Duryodhana, including Bhishma, Drona, all of them are entering the mouth of the Vishwarupa and they are all getting killed. And then Krishna told Arjuna, I have already decided that nobody is going to go back alive from this battlefield of Kurukshetra. Now, Nimitta matra bhava savya sachin. If you want to become an instrument, fine. Yathe chasi tatha kuru. Do as you wish. And what was Arjuna's immediate response? Arjuna's response, Arjuna said, Karishye vachanam tava. I will do what you want me to do. Arjuna did not say, oh Krishna, now I understood Bhagavad Gita. Now don't worry, I will do big, big things for you. He did not say like that. Arjuna said, now I understood what you want from me. I will do that. This is very important for a pure devotee. An unalloyed devotee, this is the way an unalloyed devotee thinks. A devotee never thinks that he is very capable and he can do big things. And he is not harboring or making plans. I will do this, I will do that for the spiritual master and Krishna. First, what the devotee does is, he asks, what do you want from me? Prabhupada, you are my spiritual master. What do you want from me? What do you want me to do? Once he receives an instruction, then according to follow that instruction, he can make big, big plans. Prabhupada also, he made big, big plans for spreading the Krishna conscious movement all over the world. And he got even Macmillan to publish his own version of the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita as it is. So you can imagine getting Macmillan to print. These are all not small things. But Prabhupada was not doing it on his own. He was doing it in following his spiritual master's instruction, which was to preach in the English language. So, a devotee, what he should do is, first he should understand what is wanted from him. And like Prabhupada is telling in the purport, today's purport, the devotional service most suitable for different types of devotees is determined and fixed by the mercy of the spiritual master. The spiritual master very mercifully fixes our devotional service. In our case, we are getting that mercy of the spiritual master in the form of our devotional service, which is fixed up for us. We may be doing it in an institutional way. We may be part of the organization. When we are part of the organization, we will be told this is the service list, this is what you have to do. And we will be told you have to do collection service, you have to do folk preaching, you have to do pujari service, you have to do cook service, you have to become an assistant pujari, you have to become an assistant cook, etc., etc. These are the services fixed for us through the medium of the institution. When our service is fixed like this, what does a devotee think? Does he think that, oh, what is this? So many rule and regulation. So suffocating this is. I want to do so many things, but temple commander is telling me to do go and wash the pots in the temple. What is this? I am so educated, I can preach so well, I can go and do big things. I can do management. Why I have to do this assistant pujari service? Devotee does not think like that. Devotee thinks this service has been given to me. It is the mercy of my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, that Prabhupada, through his mercy, I am getting this devotional service. And he will execute that service with full enthusiasm and full energy. When a devotee executes devotional service with this attitude, then his progress in devotional life, his progress in his spiritual life becomes very rapid. And very quickly he will be able to achieve the mercy of the spiritual master. Like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, you should not try to see Krishna. You should act in such a way that Krishna will want to see you. So how do you act in such a way that Krishna will want to see you? You will attract Krishna's attention by your service attitude, not by the service that you do. Just like Krishna in the Srimad-Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Krishna went to one city where there were two devotees of his. One was a king and another was an ordinary, very poor man. What was his profession? Anybody remembers? Bahulashva and Shrutadeva, isn't it? Those were the two people. So Krishna went there to that city and then he divided himself into two. And one Krishna went to the king's palace, the other Krishna went to the common devotee's house. So you see, if Krishna were to look at only the service, a king can do much bigger things than an ordinary poor man. When Krishna went to that poor man's house, there was not even a proper seat. He just put some mats and he said, Krishna, this is all that I have, please sit down here. And when Krishna went to the king's palace, oh, such a royal welcome and a big throne for Krishna to sit upon. Now if Krishna were to see the service only, then he should go only to the king's palace, because the king is able to do big service for Krishna. But that magnitude of the service is not what attracts Krishna. Why did Krishna get attracted to go to that small poor man's house? It was the devotional attitude, that service attitude. What attracts Krishna's attention is our service attitude. What is that service attitude? What does Prabhupada want me to do? What does my Guru want me to do? Not the attitude that I want to do this, but the attitude that what is wanted of me? What am I expected to do? That attitude is what attracts the attention of Krishna. So, if our life in the temple is actually a training in that devotional attitude. Prabhupada, Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is their first desire? Janma sarthaka kara. We should perfect our life first. Then comes karo paropakara. Then comes helping others, preaching to others. What does Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu want from us? They want that we should become perfect first. What is that becoming perfect? Our devotional attitude, our service attitude has to get perfected. Therefore, this institution, Prabhupada has made this institution where there are so many rules and regulations, and you have to follow all those and submit yourself to those rules and regulations and to some higher authority. Everybody has somebody or the other to report to in this institution. Nobody is an authority unto himself. There is a common bhakta in that temple. He has to report to his immediate devotee, to whomever he is under whomever he is doing service. That devotee has to report to the temple commander. Temple commander has to report to some vice president. Vice president has to report to temple president. Temple president has to report to the GBR. GBR has to report to GBC. How everybody is reporting to somebody or the other. How much, so much of rule and regulation. What is this? All this control. All this control is not for the lording over to exhibit our lording over tendency. It is to train us in that devotional attitude, in that service attitude, where we are constantly seeking what is wanted of me. So if we develop that attitude, our life in this temple is meant for us to develop that attitude. We have to first develop that attitude. And if we develop that attitude, then what will happen is we'll become good instruments in Prabhupada's hands. And when we become good instruments in Prabhupada's hands, you will see miraculously big things happening in the moment. You will never have expected or planned some big thing like this to happen. Something, I have to do this, you are doing. It will morph into something very big. It will become a very big preaching exercise. How does this happen? Because we become good instruments in Prabhupada's hands, and the spiritual master, our Guru, Srila Prabhupada, becomes pleased with our becoming proper instruments in his hands. Then Prabhupada will engage us in doing devotional service, preaching in a big way all over the world. So the key to become successful in spiritual life is not to seek success, is not to seek to become a performer of big tasks, but to seek to be an instrument in Prabhupada's hands, to seek to become an instrument in our Guru's hands, to seek to become an instrument of the mission of the Guru. And if we seek to become an instrument of the Guru in being very humble and meek, then automatically Krishna and Prabhupada will make big things happen in our life. So Krishna and Prabhupada have already decided, like Krishna told Arjuna, he had already decided in the battle of the Kurukshetra, all the biggest of generals, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, they are all going to go. Krishna had already decided. Means such a big thing it is. Nobody in the world could defeat any of them. In fact, Bhishma defeated even Parashurama. So for Bhishma to get defeated, it's a stupendous task. But Krishna had already decided. So Arjuna became an instrument in Krishna's hands. And because of that, what happened? Arjuna could achieve incredibly huge tasks which humanly were impossible. So why? Because he chose to become an instrument in Krishna's hand. He asked Krishna, what do you want me to do? In the very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. Yat shreyahasyan nishchitam bruhi tanmei. Tell me, what you want me to do? Firmly tell me, this is what you want me to do, I'll do it. And therefore, Krishna engaged him in big tasks. So the secret of success in devotional life lies not in seeking success, but seeking to become an instrument. And therefore, a devotee, the more rules and regulations are put upon a devotee, the more happier he feels. That yes, I am getting an opportunity, I am getting clear direction. This is exactly the thing that I have to do. And so he will be happy, he will happily execute his service. He will not feel suffocated. So this service attitude is very, very important to develop, and that is being demonstrated here by Devahuti, and that is why Devahuti is saying, Kachit tvayuchita bhakti kidrishi mama gochara yaya padam te nirvanam anjasan vashnava aham. What kind of devotional service is worth developing and practicing to help me easily and immediately attain the service of your lotus feet? Please tell me. Devahuti is inquiring. Please tell me what I should do. That should be our inquiry also. What should I do? Not that I want to do. So when we replace that I want to do with what I should do, please tell me what I should do. I want to do that which you order me to do. If we have that attitude, then our path back to Godhead becomes very easy, and our progress in spiritual life will be very rapid, and we will also be always in bliss. We will, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Susukam Kartum Avyam. Very happily we will be able to execute our devotional service. Otherwise, we will become frustrated. We will start seeing so many faults. This is not okay. That is not okay. So many things are wrong. Things are, fault finding will become our life, and then our life will become very miserable. And then we will start thinking, I came for a devotional service. Krishna says Susukam Kartum Avyam, but where is Susukam? Only Sudukam Kartum Avyam. I am only facing misery after misery in devotional life. What is this? The fault is not in devotional service. The fault is in us, our service attitude. If our service attitude is seeking to become an instrument, then there is no way you can become unhappy. You will always be happy. You will always be blissful. This is the secret. No matter how many number of years you spend in Krishna consciousness, if you are seeking to be an instrument always, then and never seeking independence, never seeking to do things on your own, then you will remain happy and peaceful in your devotional life. So if there are any questions or comments, we can discuss. Does anybody? Yes. Raghav Saran Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Like in the neophyte stage, so how to understand whether we are chalking out plans to feed our false ego or to satisfy the spiritual master?
So that's exactly what Devahuti is asking. She is asking, please tell me what I should do. So first thing is, a devotee should go and ask what I should do, not make plans on his own. Once he is told this is what you have to do, you make a plan and then go back and tell, I was told to do this, please tell me, is this okay? Just like Prabhupada also, 1922, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told him, you should preach in the English message. But Prabhupada again in 1936, 14 years later, again he is asking him, what do you want me to do? So, Prabhupada wants confirmation. Similarly, we also, when we are told this is what we have to do, we make a plan and go back and tell, this is the plan I made, is this okay? And if that plan is okay, it is not Maya's dictation, it will get approved. And if it is struck off, we go with a big plan. And when we go, they say, no, this is not practical, forget it. We have to understand this was Maya's plan. This is not what Krishna wants me to. So recalibrate. Make another plan, go back. If that attitude is proper, Krishna will give the intelligence by which you will come up with a proper plan plan to execute your service, whatever has been assigned to you. Okay? Any other question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So a temple president assigns a service to a devotee, and if he is not able to do that service, like he is not in success in doing that service, how to handle a devotee, how that he should handle that?
Simple. You have to go back to the temple president or temple commander who are assigned the service, and you have to tell, this is the challenge I am facing. Either that devotee will give you a solution by which you can overcome that, or he will give you an alternate service. We have to be practical also. Because one of the injunctions which is given in Upadeshamrita is prayasa. Over endeavor in any service is also harmful for our devotional service. So, it is the duty of the devotee who is assigning service to ensure that that devotee who is getting the service should not be engaged in over endeavor. He will also see, he has to be mature enough to see that, okay, this devotee is putting all the effort, he has tried so many things, but things are not working out. Beyond this, if we do anything, it will be over endeavor, let us drop it. Maybe Krishna has some other plan. Sometimes Krishna will not allow us to become successful also, although we may become good instruments, because Krishna has got some other plan. You understand? Just like Arjuna and the Pandavas were always good instruments in Krishna's hand. But before they won the battle of Kurukshetra, how many victories did they have? They were only facing defeat after defeat. They built their Indraprastha city with great difficulty. Then that was snatched away from them. Draupadi was tried to be disrobed. They were insulted in the assembly. They were sent to the forest in exile. Then they were sent to Ajnatavasa. They had to live incognito. One after another reverses in life. Because Krishna had a greater plan. Therefore, he took them through this. So we have to understand, sometimes we put in some effort, some endeavor, not necessarily that we have to be successful in that endeavor. Just like Prabhupada in his song, what is he saying? Make me a success or a failure as you wish. When we set out on our service also, that same thing should be in our mind also. We should pray to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, by your kripa, I have got this service. Now I'll go and put my full effort and energy into this. Please make me a success or a failure as you wish. We leave it to Prabhupada. Because Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You have right to do only your duty. You have no right to desire for the fruit of that action. This instruction of Krishna can be understood in multiple ways. One of the ways is to understand that I should not expect that I am doing my duty, so I will become successful. The fruit will come. You have no adhikara, you have no right. I will do my duty. Whether I become a success or a failure, whether the fruit of my endeavor is success or failure, that is left to Krishna. That is not my purview. I will do my duty. I have been assigned this service, I will do. If I get success, I'll go and offer that success at Krishna's lotus feet. If I become a failure, I'll go back and pray to Krishna and Prabhupada to forgive me and give me an opportunity to serve them and please them in a better way. This is how a devotee has to approach his service, practically as well as philosophically. Is that okay? We'll stop here. Grantharaj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.